week 13, halftime of Cowboys Saints, joined by Peter Traina. Pete, what is up, my friend?
Not much, man. Not much. I really wanted a touchdown there, but for the Cowboys, but we'll
It
take
was
it.
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not super exciting for sure. All right, well, we got a handful of games to get right into here, so let's hop right into it. What do you want to kick us off with?
Well, we'll just go from the top down here. We'll do this. I got the 6-point teaser here. I know we spoke about the teaser strategies a couple weeks back. This is what you would call a 6-point Wong teaser. That's the dude's name. Sounds funny, whatever. But I'm gonna tease the Colts from 8.5 to 2.5. Well, minus 8.5 to minus 2.5, and the Cardinals from 7.5 to minus 7.5 to minus 1.5. And this is a simple handicap, man. The Colts should beat the Texans, and the Cardinals should beat the Bears. I'm backing two much better teams to win by 3 points or more. I mean, 3 points or less. 3 points or more, yeah. The Colts are currently problem with this is why I need to bet early, though, because the Colts are currently 9.5 to 10-point favorites now, depending on where you look. So this wouldn't really fit into the Wong teaser zone right now. So what I'm doing for the people, because I'm a man of the people, I'm going to give you a third team that you could substitute the Colts, and I would add the Vikings because they're playing the lousy Lions. They're 7-point favorites, so you could tease them to -1. So there you go. Thank you, Pete. But so I mean, it's just.
I gave you your applause.
Thank you. So yeah, I score these games 26-17 Cardinals, 27-20 Colts, and if you're taking the Vikings, I scored this one 28-22. So they would all fit into that teaser zone. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I think all the teams you mentioned are better than the opposition, so I'm pretty comfortable doing it. I like all three of those, including the Vikings one. So not a lot of argument or discourse on that one there. So let's move on to Chargers at Bengals. What do we like about this one?
All right. I like the Bengals, man. The Chargers, for me, they're a hard team to read. They've outgained their opponents on offense in terms of yards and first downs. I like Herbert. They've got weapons. They've even got guys on defense, but their defense is ranked 29th in points per game, 31st in opponents' third down conversion percentage. They're letting opponents convert on third down at a 50% clip, or I think it's like 48.9%. They're dead last against the run, but they're top 5 against the pass in terms of yards per game. This is a bad travel spot for them, in my opinion. They're traveling east for an early game after getting stomped out in Denver. Like I said, I don't love the travel spot. And then the Bengals, they're right now, they're getting Mixon going, which fits perfectly against, what the Chargers are bad at. That plus the travel spot and the Bengals defense, who I know we spoke about it a few weeks back, that they're a little underrated. They're not like elite or anything, but they're much better than you would suggest. And then their biggest weakness going into the year was, in my opinion, the offensive line. And it really hasn't been that big of a problem. They're not great by any stretch of the means, but they're not bad. So I'm going to take the Bengals -3. I even sold out at one point and took -3.5 to get plus money, but I took them both. So you can, I would recommend 3.5 if you'd rather not eat the juice. So final score 27-22 Chargers. I mean Bengals 27-22 Bengals.
I like that one a lot. I think this game is going to be a lot of fun, but I think the difference is what you said with the running game. Joe Mixon is rolling, and I think that presents a real problem for the Chargers. I agree that the Bengals defense, I think, has been a little underrated all season, and the offensive line has not been anywhere near, the detriment people expected early in the season. And I'm a believer in Joe Burrow and the rest of the weapons on that offense. I think Herbert and, Keenan Allen and co could make it interesting. But I think the running game is the difference in this one. And I just think that the Bengals could get out early and take the air out of the football and just kind of pound it away. I don't know. It's going to be tough for anybody to stop Joe Mixon right now. And I like that one as well. I think Bengals -3 is the right go.
Yeah, and the only way the Chargers win this game is if they absolutely get hot in the air and just keep keep pounding, but they won't, in my opinion. So,
all right, Giants at Dolphins.
oh baby, oh baby. Okay, so when I placed this bet to prove that I'm not a homer, this was the impression that Daniel Jones, Vanilla Vic, Dimes was not playing.
Vanilla Vic.
I thought he wasn't playing, so I had confidence in this line based off my numbers and everything. So I was pretty excited today and yesterday, but today's news specifically when Freddie Kitchens, he said, I'm expecting Danny Jones to be the starter. Listen, the Dolphins, they're getting better right now. I think they're getting a little bit too much love in the market, though. They got this win streak going on, which has been good. But if you really look into it, they beat the Ravens. But in my opinion, the Ravens are the worst 8-3 team ever. We've spoken about them on this podcast and the stream plenty of times. They've gotten some fugazi wins. And then so the Dolphins beat the Texans, the Ravens, the Jets, but it was Flacco's Jets and Cam Newton's dead arm. So they've done it with some stellar defense. Don't get me wrong. The Giants, they're another week removed from, Jason Garrett, the clapper. So, and I like what I'm hearing from Freddie Kitchen. He's talking about, getting input from the players about what plays they want to run and getting Golladay the ball more. Listen, Freddie Kitchen, he was an awful head coach, so a lot of people like to make fun of him, like, oh, Freddie Kitchen's offensive play caller. But he got that head coaching job by being a good interim coach. So I'm not saying he's going to be a good head coach, but he's only got to call plays on offense. I power rank these teams almost identically. They both give up just amount of same points a game on defense. A slight edge to the Giants. They both give about the same, the score about the same on offense. Slight edge to Miami. With all that being said, I see this is a closer game than the spread indicates. So I'm going to take the Giants plus 4.5. Final score 23-21 Dolphins.
It'll be interesting to me in this one to see what Miami's real game plan is or to stay committed to. Because I think early on I could see them trying to be almost like committed to Myles Gaskin, like to a fault, like really just like insisting on getting the run game going. Where I really think if that like Tua has been good over the last few weeks and seems like he's moving the right direction, and Jalen Waddle is, showing everything that he showed in college. And I think Jalen Waddle could be a big mismatch for their secondary, but I think I could see Miami like not realizing that till it's too little too late. This would be different, but with Daniel Jones, I think, I don't know, plus 4.5 is a lot. I would feel different if it was 3.
Mike Glennon.
If it was Mike Glennon. But 3 would feel different than 4.5, like pretty substantially to me, I think. So I don't have any problem with Giants plus 4.5.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I think if Miami was smart, they let Tua come out, open this thing up early, and really try and spread the ball out all over the field. But I don't know, just gut feeling, I can see them kind of being insistent on like stubbornly trying to get the run game going. And I think even though like by the numbers, New York's not the best run defense or anything like that, I think that they're good enough to focus on taking that away from a player that's not elite.
Right. Yeah, and then with the 4.5, you get like the double hook. You get the field goal protection, and you get the late field goal. Like if it's tied up and they score a field goal, or if it's up by 7, blah blah blah. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's too much, and I totally agree with you. If they come out firing with passing the ball, and it'll be a long day for the Giants. I agree with you.
All right, last one that we have here, the Denver Broncos at Kansas City Chiefs. What are we thinking in this one?
All right. So I'm sure if you turned on, ESPN, Fox Sports, or NFL Network this week, you've heard about how great Andy Reid is off the bye. And that's a real thing. It's a real thing. The Chiefs are really good. Andy Reid specifically is really good off the bye. He's probably like, I don't know, he's got like 1 or 2 losses. It's incredible. The problem is that there's something wrong with this Chiefs team. They have a fatal flaw. We've spoken about this before as well on the podcast. It's the cover 2 defense, 2 high safeties. The Broncos this year in the draft and free agency, they decided to really load up on defense, specifically the secondary. and plays perfectly into the Chiefs' weaknesses. Chiefs have looked great the last 2 weeks, but it's been against stubborn defensive coordinators who play cover three. You got the Raiders and the Cowboys. Regardless, that, and even though it was clear what the blueprint is to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs, or at least to stifle them. So this is a top Denver defense right now. I don't love Teddy, but I don't hate him either. And they've got plenty of weapons. They got weapons in the run game and weapons in the pass game. I'm taking the road dog at 10 points, just way too many for the Chiefs to cover. Give me the Broncos plus 10, 22-21 Chiefs.
10's a lot for this Chiefs team.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, like you said, some of that is Andy Reid off the bye, but I think some of that is Chiefs from the past couple of years hype getting built into it too, because I think this defense could be problematic for the Chiefs. I think that 10 points is a lot, period, almost regardless of the matchup. The defense, I think, could pose real trouble for Mahomes and the Chiefs. And I don't know, Denver, like you said, Teddy's not great, but with the weapons they have there, even if Melvin Gordon doesn't go, Javonte Williams can always pop one off. He's great at breaking tackles, and there's enough pass catchers there between Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. There's enough that 10 points is just a lot, and it's I don't know. I think a lot of that is kind of baked in with just the thought of the Chiefs coming off, or Andy Reid coming off the bye, the Chiefs coming off the bye, what the
100%.
Chiefs have been for the last couple of years. And I still think the Chiefs, have a very, very talented team, but they've got problems right now, and 10 points is too much.
Yeah, I don't see any problems with the Chiefs long term this year, but there's no incentive to win by 2 scores in the NFL. It's not college. They don't need to have big wins. They just need to win. And I don't think the Chiefs care how they do it.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so we got the Colts and Cards in the teaser, then Bengals -3, Giants +4.5, Broncos +10. Pete, got anything you want to add before second half kicks off here with Cowboys Saints?
No, I just hope this Cowboys score more than 24 points, because I am also on that today. So
there you go. little bonus action. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to join us as always, and we'll do it again next week.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me again.